Let's go get him again.
Am I actually releasing a spring list on time this year? Hot damn, it's early. You know what? The community ain't ready for this. Let's go. YouTube Fragrance family, welcome to my top 20 spring niche list for the year 2021. It's been a while since I've done a top anything list on my channel, so I may be a little rusty. We'll see. These lists are super fun to compile, but even more fun on the editing room floor where I spend hours and hours editing this video to make sure it's just perfect for all of you out there. But these lists, what are they about, these seasonal lists? Well, this is where I inform you of the scents I'm excited to try out. Hey, if you watch my videos, you know that I do haul upon haul. So there's some of those noobs that are going to make a top 20 list. They better, you know, I spend my hard-earned money on them. So we'll see which ones actually make a top 20 list on my channel. It's very hard to crack a top 20 list on my channel. Why? Well, if you saw the bottles that are around me here, you'll know why. But I also have my staples. Every single season, I have something like Green Irish Tweed. It's a spring staple. It's been in this list since I started back in 2009 on YouTube. It ain't going anywhere. It just depends where it's going to slot in. Usually it's a top 5 fragrance. So we'll see where it goes this year. So spring, a season. Well, spring as a season, depending across the world, it all depends what spring is to you. That's a very big question to ask when your favorite fragrance reviewer is showing their spring list. Me, I'm based in Canada. It's a tweener season like fall. We get every single season hard. So some places, spring, you might get a little bit of rain. Spring is like summer in some places. Well, in Canada, it's a great season. It's a tweener season, which is great for fragrances. You can wear basically almost anything because it's still cold. You are going to get some random snow days in spring, and then the next day it's going to be, you know, plus 20 Celsius, and you're just like, what's going on? Spring's a crazy time. You get rain, you get snow, you get beautiful days. It might be cold in the morning, then it turns into a hotter day, and then it's cold at night, things like that. We get overcast. So those are this season coming up, spring, is one of those that you can almost wear anything. Now for me, I have the luxury with over, we'll say 1,500 fragrances. I can basically tailor my spring scents, niche and designer very easily. Like this is the season where I primarily wear my florals. So you're going to see some rose-based scents, some lavender-based scents. You may see iris in here, violet, things like that. I like to wear a lot of my florals in this season for good reason. Also, my green scents get a lot of wear during this season. You're going to see fig leaf, you're going to see mint. There's a lot of those in this list. I love being green, but a little different, right? Patchouli, vetiver, those are obviously some staples. You're going to see some of those in there too. And I do like to wear a little bit of my challenging fruity scents. I don't have too many of those, but those don't get too much play in the winter. And in the summer, sometimes they're a little too thick. So you're going to see not too many citruses in here. Those are mainly for summer, and what it does, it gives more life to my citrus-based scents during the summer. I don't wear them too much during the spring, and I get kind of tired of them when we're in August. So that's where I kind of play with my fragrances a little bit in regards to that, and kind of gives me a buffer for my citruses. So enough talk about the season itself, why I choose these fragrances, things like that. And again, these are just a suggestion. There's going to be discontinued scents in here. I'm not scared of putting discontinued, hard to find scents, because if you're a frag head like me, you would like your fragrance reviewer to put those scents in there, because I am also looking for those type of scents. Some people don't like that. I might not be the reviewer for you, and that's where you choose if you hit subscribe or not. So let's tackle this list. Let's start it off number 20. At number 20, we're going to start this one off with a citrus. Now, citrus, like I said, they're rare in these lists, the spring list. So take a picture. It's a dinosaur, because it's the only one that is heavily a citrus-based scent, and it's best season is summer for it, but I can't wait to wear this one, and that is Atelier Cologne's Pomelo Paradis. Now, Pomelo Paradis, grapefruit. So pomelo, of course, part of the grapefruit family. But this one, Big Notes Pomelo, of course, it also utilizes blackcurrant. You're going to see a lot of blackcurrant-based scents in here. And, of course, vetiver's in here. So this was my number one back in 2017 on this list and hasn't seen the list since then. So welcome back, first of all. It is not the most expensive fragrance on this list, nor the most complex. However, at times being simple, it's just what you need. I do love a good grapefruit scent like you, but it has to be done right. This one is done right. Best for summer, of course. Simple yet easy to wear. Authentic, zesty, even tart. And that's the trick that a lot of grapefruit scents kind of miss, is the tartness. You need to get that tartness. This one has it. It's hard to do, but only a handful of scents do have that authentic tartness of the grapefruit, and it's beautiful in here. It's bright, it's uplifting, it's going to cheer anybody up that's wearing this thing. Very light, not much depth to it, so you're not going to see much playing around in the background of this one. It's all about the opening. Most of Atelier Colognes, they're freshies, it's all about the opening. You lose that big bright opening, where's the skeleton? So that's my one thing that I hate about Atelier fragrances. Enjoy that opening. It's a stunner. One word of advice, if you're going to get this, you love it, get the big bottle like me. Get the big bottle. You're going to reapply this thing. At number 20, Pomelo Paradis, numero 19, from the brand of Different Company. Different Company, not getting much love in the fragrance community, but this one is a rose-based scent. It was constructed by Monsieur Jean-Claude Delena when he used to be there. And this is Rose Poivrée. I'm going to put that bad boy right beside it. Look at that dark juice beside me. Look at that. Now that's a thing of beauty. That's sexy right there. Oh man, Elena. Man. Back in the day when everybody was hyping Rose 31, and I'm aging myself on YouTube, but people used to say Rose 31, best rose based with some spice. No. No. Rose Poivrée is that. It utilizes cumin in heavy doses, especially up top. So be warned. It has been a spring staple for me for years. The nose behind this one, of course, Monsieur Elena. This is by far his best rose-based fragrance he has ever done. Actually, I'll go as far as saying that this is the best rose-based scent I've ever smelt. Oof. The rose, the spicy funk in this one is turned into overdrive by Elena more than his usual stuff. He loves using spices in his scents, but he's really turned it up in here. And I fell in love with this scent right away. It's my favorite from the house of Different Company. This stuff is excellent during a rainy, gloomy, even an overcast spring day night. Note, it's not for the faint of heart. But is it one of the best rose-based fragrances in the game? Yes, it is. At number 18, not a noob. We haven't seen a noob yet, but they are coming. So they've done good in this list. This is from the house of Christian Dior. You're going to say, oh, Mark, that's a designer brand. You don't know what you're talking about. This is from their higher end line. This one called Vetiver. And I count these designer fragrances that are harder to find or more expensive. They go in these lists. They don't go in the designer list. They don't go against the Aqua di Gios of the world. So Vetiver from Christian Dior made the list last year at number 19. Moves up. Good job. Good boy. This is straight up vetiver, man. If you like vetiver, the rootiness of the vetiver, this is what it is. It's straightforward. Last year, I said in this list, this particular list, I said, is this going to stand the test of time in my list? Made it last year. Is it going to make it this year? It did, and it moved up a spot. Good job. So it's a pretty straightforward vetiver. It competes against Chanel's Sycamore. That's where I would put this one against. Is it overhyped? A bit. For what you get, yeah. You know, I spent a pretty buck just because it's rare and it's hard to find. I did. But, you know, is it overhyped for a vetiver? It's good. Is it great? No. But it's a solid representation of the note. It's green, it's rooty. It has minimal citruses in the front end of it, backing it a little bit. It's a bit thin as a composition. But like Pomelo Paradis, like I said, simple sometimes is great. And sometimes you just win with the simple, like what it says on the sticker. It's vetiver, and that's what it gives you. That's all it gives you. Oh man, there's not much distracting this vetiver. This one will be, it's very versatile as a scent. Unfortunately, I don't have much of it, so I don't want to wear too much of it. But rain, shine, dress it up, dress it down, doesn't really matter. Vetiver-based scents, mostly you dress them down, but I feel like this one has a little bit of a class to it that I would wear it with a suit. Why not? Mostly rain. Rainy days, vetiver just kicks butt, and that's when I would actually wear vetiver by the House of Christian Dior. Now let's go figgy. And you'll see there's a lot of fig-based fragrances in this list. And we gotta go with one of the firsts in the game from a great nose. And this is from a brand that doesn't get that much love in the community either. And this is Philosykos Eau de Toilette by Diptyque. It's a 96 release. Like, this is an old school fragrance, but, oh, there's a but. It's one of the best in the game. You know, just because you're old doesn't mean you're crap. This stuff is... it's been a while since it's been in this list. I think the last time it showed up was back in 2015, so it's been a while. But I love my fig-based fragrances. That's not a secret if you do watch my videos. And this is the one that, you know, that's your classic fig that I put against all other figs. Now this is the Eau de Toilette. You'll see that I got the square bottle. It's a vintage bottle. There is an EDP also. It's watery, it's transparent, it's green. It's really, this is probably the one, well, Pomelo and this one, they're great for the really warm spring days. And I can continue to wear this in the summer, and so is Pomelo Paradis, but it's light. It's got a little bit of that fig leaf kind of wetness to the fragrance. It's green, and it's also cooling a bit. Fig does that. It's a staple fig. And if you want fig, you got to go with one of the originators. And that right there, oh, that's an originator and a great one. At number 16, we have our first noob of the list. It's from the House of Le Labo, and this is their tea-based fragrance called Thé Noir 29. Thé Noir 29. So Thé Noir is new to my list and new to this nose too. I kind of got it split here. So this one, the big notes in here, fig and black tea. So this one is so new. I haven't done a first impression on my on my channel yet. But it was so good that I have to include it in this list to let you guys know how much I actually really like this one. It was split by my splitter. You're going to see that there's not a lot of juice inside, and that's why it's kind of, there's not that much. I didn't go through all that just now. But this one's going to be worn quite a bit this spring. I love Rose 31 during this time from Le Labo, but I have Rose Poivrée that kind of does that thing for me better, actually. So I wanted to get something else from Le Labo, and this is perfect for it. Now, talking about figs, there's figs in here. It starts off with it. It's fruity. It's green. A little lactonic on this one. A little lactonic. Soft tea background in here that grows with wearings. So it will, after a while, with time, it is going to get a little more tea-based. Very well constructed from the brand. Le Labo, not one of my favorite brands, to be quite honest, but this one is great, and it is going to get quite a bit of wearings this spring. Thé Noir 29 by Le Labo. Now, number 15 from the House of Herrera, and this is Virgin Mint. Yes, this is the bottle in the thumbnail. So, Virgin Mint, whew, what can I say? This is a house that, obviously a designer brand. It's their higher end line, just like Ziad here, Vetiver. I'll put it beside it. Virgin Mint, it needs some love. I'm a huge mint guy, and this has spearmint in it. Geranium, of course, throwing out that mintiness too. It was number 20 last year, jumps up to number 15 this year. I can dress this one up, dress it down. You know when I said simple just wins? This is simple, and it just wins. With Virgin Mint, you do get some citruses up top with a strong minty note. Great pairing. Authentic to the tea on all aspects. The citruses, beautiful. Mint, amazing. The citruses, they're sparkling, they're uplifting. Spearmint is the rock star of this release. If you like mint, get this one. It's thin, it's transparent, it's uplifting. There's not much to this composition, to be quite honest, but it effing rocks. It's one of the best mints in the game. This Herrera line is something to watch in the coming years on my channel. I already got my second bottle from this high-end line, and I'm hoping to get some more. They're very expensive and hard to find, but this stuff right here, you dress it up, dress it down. You can wear it during the day, night, rain, shine. Versatility is the name of the game with this one, and if you like mint, and everybody else that's wearing blue fragrances, wear some greens for F's sakes. At number 14, we have a fruity-based scent. You know what? This year, we have an abundance of fruity scents. This list hasn't seen so many fruity scents ever. Usually, these lists are very green and floral. You know, it's nice to get a little bit of color in my list here, especially for spring. This one is from the house of Byredo, and this is Pulp. Now, Pulp, oh, no stranger to this list. Pulp is a fragrance that's very polarizing. Some people are going to say, oh, it smells cheap. Others are going to say, why would I want to smell like that? It is probably the most challenging, the most unique fruity scent I've ever smelt in my journey. Blackcurrant's in here. Fig. Did I say fig? Yeah, I said blackcurrant and fig quite a bit. So at number 14, we got Pulp. And this fragrance has been as high as number 2 on this list in the past. Pulp and I have a very rich, deep history. Best fruity fragrance in the game? Possibly. Pulp is the most interesting fruity scent I've ever smelt. It's the best from the house. It's the only one from the brand that's on this list. I almost went with Belle d'Afrique, but I wanted to go with Pulp. It's one of the rare fragrances that actually on this list that actually has a full-fledged review on my channel, so go check it out if you haven't. Amazing, playful scents, but it is very polarizing, and it needs to be purchased with careful testing. Don't blind buy this thing. Test, test, test. That is one thing I have to say about Pulp. It's either you love or you hate it. I absolutely love it, and I think it's the best from the brand of Byredo. At numero 3, number 13, we are going to go Privé, Armani Privé, another designer brand, and this one called Figuier Eden. I've been pumping this fragrance for a long, long time. I've been telling people, definitely, if you like fig, get this one. It was number 1 back in 2018 on this list for good reason. It has been in the top 10 every so often, but here at number 13, still doing well. One of the best from Armani. I'm talking about fig in a scent. Armani they killed it here with the classiest fig in the game. Honestly, you put anything with iris, you class things up. I really like this kind of, light green, white combo with the iris and the fig. It kind of goes that way. Iris just classes this thing up. It's just, I feel like wearing a pastel suit with this one. Awesome. But I catch myself wearing this one casually from time to time just because I love it so much. It's watery, it's green, great fig scent. Like, I mean great. I usually don't talk up Armani, and I really don't. But this one, the Privé line has some jewels. I'm going to give them that. And this is one of them. One of the better figs in the game. Now we're getting close to the top 10, and not too many noobs this year. From what I see, a lot of staples, a lot that have come back to the list. It's nice to see. And hey, I challenge you to recommend me some down in the comments below. Let me know. You guys can see what my taste is. I love fig. I love mint. But if you think that I need something, and I'm missing something in this list, you let me know. So at number 12, from the house of Creed, this is Sélection Verte. And this has been split a long, long time ago. It doesn't come in those beautiful Creed bottles. It actually comes in a flacon. Very much a hard fragrance to get now. It was released back in 1970. It's an oldie, but it's part of the it's part of the three-headed green monster that I call from Creed. GIT, Green Valley, and this thing. They're all green. They're all fantastic. And this one used to be like a top 5 fragrance for me. Last time I saw this list was back in 2016 at number 6. This one is more of it's a mint. I love my mints. Mint and citrus combo. So first of all, welcome back, Sélection Verte, after a long hiatus. Well deserved. It's a third wheel of the three-headed monster. Green Valley and GIT just kept puffing along while Sélection Verte was just collecting dust. Well, this one's back, and one of the best mints in the game. Yeah, it's simple. It's mint citrus up top. It's very thin, but it's sparkling. It's transparent as they can be. Kind of think of, it reminds me of 1861 Renaissance from Xerjoff. Basically the same thing. Hidden gem in the Creed vault right here. Bring Sélection Verte back, Creed. At number 12, Sélection Verte, a great one. Now, talking about noobs, we got a noob here from Masque Milano, and this is Russian Tea. I just started talking about this fragrance on my channel. And sometimes a noob just blows you away enough like this that it's going to squeak into a top 10 almost. So Masque Milano, a brand that is new to me. This is my very first bottle from the brand. Welcome to the list. And again, there's some familiar notes in this release. Mint. Black tea is another one. And of course, raspberry. So you're going to see some fruity, you're going to see some raspberry in this list still coming. But Russian tea, a great release. This is one of those that's a tweener. You know, it has a little thickness to it, but it's still thin. Works so well in the spring. So it's a tea-based scent, but I think it's made for spring. It works in the cold environment from what I'm seeing now, and also the warm environment. The mint and raspberry up top, absolutely beautiful. You got a thin black tea note, mild smokiness. You got solid leather note backing this scent, so it works well in the cooler time. Versatility is the name of the game with this release, and I think that this one hits all the check marks. I think I could wear it almost any time in the spring. I just bought this in 2021, and it's going to be a staple for spring, so watch out. This one may be on this list for years to come. I just want to spray, sniff it a little bit more, and let's go. Now it's top 10 time, and bring your wallets out. The big boys are here. We'll start with Frédéric Malle. Talking about wallets, Frédéric Malle, not a cheap brand. This is Dominique Ropillon's Gennarium pour Monsieur. And this is a fragrance that, watch out. Last year I said it was a noob last year at number 14 in 2020. Now at number 10. I said this one is going for the number one spot. I ain't kidding. Mint again. Yes. Geranium with that minty flow. Beautiful. The only Malle in this list. However, it has to be noted that many Malles could make this list. I was actually thinking of putting a few in here, but the heavy minty geranium pour Monsieur made it. It's not the first, not the last mint in this list. Yeah, we got some more. It works well in the rain. It works well in the cooler spring windy days. Dress it up, dress it down. Geranium pour Monsieur is one of the best mints in the game, bar none. It deserves this spot. Actually, number 14 last year, number 10 this year. Wouldn't be surprised if this one starts cracking the top 5 next year. We'll see. A few extra sniffs on that one. Let's go at number 9. And this is a noob to the list. And it's not a new fragrance to me. I've had it for over a year now. But from the house of MFK, Baccarat Rouge 540, the EDP version. And this is, I'll be honest, is more of a fall type scent, I guess. But I kind of like my red nuances this year. You're going to see a couple red-based fragrances, the more fruity. This one utilizes, of course, the spicy saffron, amberwood, and, of course, fir resin. So it's got red and green nuances. Perfect for fall and spring. Day or night, dress it up or dress it down. Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to the spring list, Baccarat Rouge. And getting into the top 10 on this list is a solid feat by a great fragrance. Saffron Amberwood bombed this thing. It pushes it. It makes it candied sweet. But at the same time, it has a certain air of elegance to the fragrance. This one can be worn during overcast, cooler spring nights to a beautiful windy spring day. Dress it up, down. Baccarat 540 has a cult following for really good reason. It's a really good scent. And I'm not scared about putting, hype trains in my list. Usually I stay away from them, but when it's just due, and I agree, I like this one. Baccarat Rouge 540 EDP at number 9. Now, talking about sweetness, at number 8, we'll go with the house of Vagabond Prince, and this is Enchanted Forest. And this is a beautiful bottle, by the way. This scent, man, oh, look at that. Man, This one was number one on this list back in 2016. It was number two back in 2015. It's been a top 10 fragrance for me in the spring for a long, long time. Oh, man. As Pulp is such a great scent that utilizes blackcurrant, and you've heard blackcurrant in a few of these fragrances, this goes full blackcurrant. Like, I mean full-fledged blackcurrant, and it executes it to a T. One of my favorite fruity scents of all time. The purple hue of the bottle shows the color of the scent perfectly. It's dripping purple here from the buds. You smell the fruity buds, the branches, the greens. It's syrupy sweet, but at the same... It's so well done that it has almost like a boozy take to it, but it's not. This is what niche is all about, to be honest, in that bottle. It just shows all the great facets of one particular note, and it shows all facets of that particular note, and it just lets it shine. Being simple and perfect. This is where this goes. Great casual fragrance, day, night, works well in the overcast spring days, but man, Enchanted Forest is maybe one that I can't go without. I might have to get another bottle of that. Moving on to last year's number one. We got a new number one this year, but it did pretty good. Number 7 this year. This is from the house, one of my favorite houses, or new houses to me, newish. DS and Durga's Burning Barbershop. Now this one, polarizing. People love it, people hate it. Obviously, I'm a big fan of it at number 7. So my number one last year falls short here. You know, it's still solid. It goes back to its old number 7 spot where it got in 2018. This scent balances the gentleman feel that I get from like an Invention Barbare with a barbershop feel. It has heavy lavender, but it pairs it with an even more barbershop-like tones like mint. It's got lime in it. And then sets all that crap on fire. It gives it... it's a freshness that gets swallowed up by smoke. It's artistic. It excites me. Even without the smoke. This is a beautifully blended barbershop base scent. Without the smoke, perfect. But it's kind of boring at the same time. With the smoke, it gives it enough excitement, enough oomph that I'm like, ooh, I don't have one of those in my collection. And I don't. I have tons of barbershop base scents. But this... I can wear this in the spring, like smoky scents, a little much for the spring. But this one, oh, what a great release from DS and Durga. At number 6, we got a noob. Yay, from the house of Tom Ford. This is Lost Cherry. Now, Lost Cherry, haven't had this for a while. It's been, I don't know, a couple years now. And welcome to the list, by the way. Very high ranking, by the way. Good job. I love seeing newbies in this list, especially in the summer and spring. Those are 2 seasons that it's hard to find great fragrances. And I mean great, like top 10 great. And Lost Cherry, fruity scents, by the way, they're all the rage right now. You know, you got cherry, you got raspberry ones. They're trying to do like peach, bitter peach, of course, from Tom Ford. So that's all the rage right now. And, oh man, the cherry in Lost Cherry is so, it's front and center. There's no missing it. You're not going to be disappointed with this cherry. Some brands utilize cherry in the tonka bean. It gives you a little bit of a cherry twist, but it gets muddled by maybe the almond of the tonka, or the vanillic qualities of the tonka, or even the powdery take of the tonka. So it kind of gets muddled a little bit. This one is cherry centric, and I love that about it. And it does have tonka bean in it, and just an FYI. But it's bright, it's red, it's syrupy. It's almost liqueur-like, like almost a cherry liqueur. It's dripping cherry. The almond in here from the tonka is present, and it does give some depth to the fragrance, and it's really nicely blended. It's playful, but at the same time, I feel like I can dress this one up. I think this one's going to be in my top 20 list for years to come. In the fall and spring, it's a heavy contender. I really, even winter actually, I really like this one. Really beautiful cherry-based release at number 6, Lost Cherry from Tom Ford. At number 5, oh, this one. Oh, this one. From Creed. Green Valley. And so there we have, and look at that old school atomizer, eh? Beastly. Green Valley. Hard to find, unfortunately. A 1999 release, a 90s baby here. Big notes in this one, mint, blackcurrant. Those are the notes of this list almost, basically. This has been number 1 in 2013, 14. Has been top 5 for a very long time on my list. And it's part of the Creed Greed-Headed Monster, the 3. We've seen 2. There's 2 over here. The last one's over here somewhere. Top 5. First of all, it's discontinued. It's hard to find. I always get kind of like hated on these lists, and because I add discontinued scents. And I'm not here to sell you anything. This is not, there's nothing here that's brand new that I'm trying to, there's no coupon code somewhere for you to buy these. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you what stands out for me, my personal opinion. The ones that I'm excited about, that's what a list should be about. Discontinued or not, these would make my list. I don't want to get rid of a Green Valley just because it's discontinued, because it is one of my staples. It's one of my favorites. It's a top 5 spring scent for me. Proof's in the pudding. It's been on the list for a while, and it stole a lot of pumps from GIT, didn't you? Yeah, you do. Over the years, you have. Rightfully so. My green fix is with the brand of Creed. Green Valley, a good one. At number 4, a noob, our last noob of this top 20 list. So let's enjoy it. Let's celebrate it. Christian Dior's Rouge Trafalgar. This one, by the way, just because it's so little juice, I got the split also from my splitter. He's been very handy. Great guy. This is a release that I blind bought, and it's new to my staple. I just got it. But big notes in here: raspberry, cherry, blackcurrant. There you go. It's got a strawberry note in here. It's kind of like Lost Cherry. Both of them kind of play hand in hand, but I feel like Rouge Trafalgar is more higher end, less playful. It kind of steals the raspberry note from Russian tea that's over here and adds blackcurrant from, let's say, this guy. And it takes cherry actually from Lost Cherry, a little bit of it, not too much. It really is a medley. Red berries, fruity tones, very beautiful, but it has a thinness to it. It's not as syrupy or thick as this guy and that guy. Don't think that. It's very much more thin. It's watercolor-esque. It's very playful, very much unisex, at least for me. Some guys may not want to wear this. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of Elena's brush strokes, like that watercolor feel with just a beautiful berry top. But it's not just the berry top, and that's where I can't wait to delve into it more and get to know it a little bit more this year, and hopefully get some videos out on it for you guys. But Rouge Trafalgar, really great release from the house of Christian Dior. Now let's go to number 3, top 3. Ooh, you hear that? Yeah, that's a slumber house fragrance. Pear and Olive. And I hate wasting a spray, but for video's sakes, do it. Pear and Olive. I don't have too much of it left. It's getting very scarce. Man, what was it last year? Number 2. You dropped down a spot, but Pear and Olive. That is exactly what it is. You may think, but it's a little weird. It is a little weird. Slumber House is a house that, if you've never heard of them, they're the king of darker scents, definitely, for winter. Usually brands like that can't do daring and unique in the spring and summertime. You just can't do it. They usually flop. Josh, the nose behind Slumber House, killed this. There's nothing on the market like this. Beautiful pear note. If this was just the pear note in here, I'd still buy it for the price he's asking. The pear note in here is unmatched. Now it goes with an olive note that makes this fragrance a little oily. It's aromatic. It's balsamic. Leafy green, almost a tropical-like take here. It's such an artistic scent. I can't stop smiling. I'm kind of frowning because I don't have too much of that juice, but it's highly wearable to me. It may not sound outstanding to you, but man, is that good. And that is number 3, very much well-deserved from Slumber House, Pear and Olive. At number 2, numero 2 from the House of Creed. You knew it was coming. It was in the thumbnail. Green Irish Tweed. Well, last year you were number 3. You kind of switch spots with Pear and Olive, which is fine. GIT always gunning for that number one spot. This is spring in a bottle, honestly. Look at that resume. Just look at that resume. Back in 2010 was number one and just killed this list year after year. It's a violet-based scent, lemon verbena up top. The most decorated scent in this list is always basically a shoe-in for top three. Man, the only way a scent can really leapfrog this in one of my lists is either A, it's very unique, that beats it, or it's a best in class. And the new number one is a best in class, by the way. GIT Spring in a Bottle. It's green. It's luscious. Dress it up, dress it down, rain, shine. This scent I can wear every day in the spring. I don't have to blink an eye. No complaints would ensue. Is one of the oldest scents on this list, released back in '85, which is still relevant in 2021. And this is a scent that I'm always going to have a bottle of. So classic indeed from the House of Creed. At number one, when I compiled this list, this number one, I put this number one. And then I looked back on where I put it in previous years, and it's highly decorated. It's done very well. I was super surprised, and I'm going to spray this here off camera. I was super surprised that this one was never number one on this list. Never. I was like, what? Well, it's a good time to start it. And this is from the house of James Healy. James Healy does not get the love. Like, I call him Mr. James Healy. You got to put some respect on that name. Mount Fraiche. Man, put it up front and center. Can you see that? You better be able to see that. Transparent glass bottle, but other than that, you can see the cap. Mount Fraiche, as high as number two on this list back in 2011, and it's a mint-based fragrance, but the composition itself, oh man, it's a strong returnee and well-deserved of number one. Mount Fraiche is highly decorated in this list in the past years. It's my favorite mint in the game, bar none. It's transparent, it's watery, it's green. Well balanced. The secondary notes envelope the primary, which is mint. The mint, highly natural. One of the most natural mints I've ever smelt in my life. I highly recommend for you guys. And again, I said, like, a lot of these haven't been reviewed on my channel. Shame on me. I suck at reviewing. Someone's going to crop that and put that somewhere. But Mount Fraiche is one of the unique ones that I have reviewed. And I feel the same way. And this is an old review. Feel the same way. Dress it up, dress it down. Cool weather, warm weather, doesn't matter. I tend to like to overspray this release. I don't really care. I like to swim in it, and it doesn't offend. It's an absolute beast and well deserving a number one spot. It should have been number one long time ago on my channel. Finally, very much deserving. And there you have it. My top 20 list for 2021, spring, niche, a little bit of everything. That's what I like to do. I like to, even though, blackcurrant was highly, some representation of blackcurrant, mint, and fig were pretty high on this list. We got some fruity notes that are a lot more fruity based fragrances in this list this year. But I'm really excited on wearing all of these. And again, this is one man's opinion. This is me just thinking, this is what I think is the best for me. I can't wait to wear all these. And I hope that you get some ideas or, you get intrigued by some of these scents. That's the point of the video. That's it. So thank you for watching. And hey, if you got some time, you can comment below and suggest some of your best spring niche. I'd love to hear it. I'm always looking for something a little different. And you never know, a couple years later, you may see your favorite as number one on this list. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.